Hello, and welcome to the Living the Woman's Way podcast. In this episode, I want to return to the core framework that we will continue to use in all our conversations, the Archetypal Matrix. It is the foundation for self-analysis and self-diagnosis, a lens through which we can understand the evolution of our needs, strategies, and identity. This matrix is the core we'll keep coming back to, no matter the topic, because it gives us structure, language, and insight. Today we will talk about dynamics, about how we grow and develop. In previous episodes, I have explored the archetypal matrix in the context of psychological maturation, and now I'd like to go further to look at life as a dynamic process where needs shift, strategies evolve, and identity transforms. Each day we grow older. Each day adds experience, knowledge, and wisdom that we can build on. And with age, our needs and desires change. At 43, I see my life differently than I did at 35, 25, or 15. And I know that in 10 years, my perspective will shift again. Even a month from now, I will look at some aspects of my life differently. Values are re-evaluated. Priorities change. Some things must be let go and others welcomed. People come and go. The rules of the game shift. And trying to play the old game by new rules, that's cheating myself. As we move through life, our priorities and motivations shift. Not because something went wrong, but because we evolve. Each life stage brings its own rhythm, its own truth. Our needs evolve throughout life. In our 20s, we crave vivid sensations. We seek freedom, adventure, passion. Dominant strategies include the seeker, warrior, and lover. Life feels like a wide open horizon, and we want to taste it all. We are often driven by discovery and self-expression. Through the seeker, we explore our identity, searching for a profession or field that feels like the right path for self-realization. We look for the best place to live, try out different modalities, sciences, and start discovering ourselves through various experiences. We test our strength through sports, explore our bodies through yoga, uncover our talents through creative activities and classes. We seek grounding through psychology, values through religion, and tools for problem solving and achievement through education. The warrior helps us find direction in life. He sets ambitious goals and gives us the courage and drive to overcome challenges on the path. He builds our confidence and keeps us moving forward. The lover teaches us how to form deeper bonds with others to create partnerships, not only in romantic life, like building a family, but also in our professional sphere. We seek meaningful collaborations, develop stronger ties with colleagues, and build connections that help us climb the career ladder or grow our own ventures. In our 30s, we often meet disillusionment. The idealism fades. The warrior tires from constant striving. The seeker gets lost in responsibilities, and the innocent retreats as reality takes over. We begin to question ourselves and sometimes feel like we are falling behind. This is the decade where many people reassess their identity. At this stage, the orphan often creates confusion rather than support. It relies too heavily on the opinions of others. And in the process of re-evaluating our identity, we may realize that we have spent our whole lives living accordingly to the expectations of others, parents, society, or culture. Moving toward the thinking of more mature archetypes allows us to take responsibility for our own lives, stop depending on others for validation, and begin seeking inner foundations to satisfy our true needs. This is also when the magician may begin to surface, guiding us to the right place at the right time, orchestrating encounters that shift our thinking or change our life path entirely. We found ourselves in situations that compel us to transform. In our 40s, existential questions arise. Is this all there is? This is the time when the sage begins to wake up. But without the presence of the jester, this period may lead to heaviness or even depression. That's because the jester, the one who brings joy, lightness, and the ability to laugh at life, rarely shows up earlier in life. But after 40, it becomes essential. Without it, we start drawing into seriousness. Many women begin to feel their creative self, their creator, wanting more space, but old patterns might still keep them stuck. Then in our 50s and beyond, we begin the long process of adapting to aging. The jester stays by our side as a reminder not to take everything so seriously. Without it, aging can feel bitter or stagnant. This is also when the archetype of the ruler becomes critically important. If it hasn't developed earlier, now is the time to build it, because no one but you will organize your life, your schedule, your rest and work, your relationships and boundaries all need to be intentionally structured. This is the decade where we must think long term. How will we provide for ourselves in older age? That's something the innocent may romanticize, thinking our children will take care of us. But parenting was your responsibility to nurture your children until they become adults. You did not create an obligation for them to care for you. So don't shift that responsibility onto others. Take it back. Build systems, make investments, ensure your health, and plan for the future. There is another layer worth noticing. Some archetypes that helped us earlier may begin to sabotage us later. Take the caregiver. It often flourishes during motherhood. We are wired to serve and protect. But when children grow up, the same instinct can become a burden. If not redirected, the caregiver may interfere in other children's lives or overinvest in helping others to the point of exhaustion. The true task here is to turn that nurturing energy inward to care for ourselves. And there is something else I want to highlight. Even though certain archetypes are associated with youth, they don't vanish as we grow older. On the contrary, we continue to need our general strategies in new contexts. When you move to a new city, for example, you need the orphan to help navigate new social circles. If you are grieving, the innocent is the path that helps you adapt to life without someone you loved. These archetypes don't disappear, they evolve and help us survive and adjust at every stage of life. I can't demand the same drive and energy from myself that I had in my 30s. My body is aging. My hormonal background is changing. What I used to carry with ease now becomes too heavy. And when I try to carry the same weight, my body reacts instantly. It gives up. And in that moment, I have a choice. resist, deny, and become my own abuser, blaming myself for being weak or not enough. Or I can stop arguing with reality, accept that I have less energy now, that I need more rest, that I can't and should not do everything myself or finish everything today. Our lives are cyclical. Each stage brings new values, desires, and needs. When we learn to acknowledge this, to listen to ourselves as we are now, without blaming ourselves for past experiences, we begin to reclaim the gifts of our past. We give ourselves permission to make mistakes, and we learn to do the same for others. Each person is a unique dynamic system with their own developmental track, physical, mental, and spiritual. This path is influenced by an endless number of factors: gender, age, environment, cultural background, language, education, occupation, the era we live in. You cannot expect someone else to be like you. And if you find yourself wanting to control someone else's life, ground yourself in the archetypal matrix. Ask yourself, what need is behind this urge? Sometimes it's a desire to create a better world. The innocent wants to restore paradise. Sometimes it's the warrior's hunger for legacy, to be seen, respected, validated. Maybe you just want to feel closer. The orphan is longing for acceptance, belonging, shared values. Or maybe you see someone struggling and want to fix it. The caregiver wants to help structure their world. These needs aren't bad. But the moment we try to fulfill them through another person, we slip into immature strategies. And the true shift happens when we ask, how can I meet these needs within myself? Archetypes are not fixed labels. They are evolving strategies. As we mature, the dominant roles in our inner system change. Let me return to the archetypal matrix for a moment. We have already explored it as a map for psychological development. It shows how every need in our life unfolds through a layered psychological process. And it helps us analyze which level of thinking we are currently using to meet that need. In future episodes, we will continue to explore different life topics and map them onto the archetypal matrix. If there is something in your life you'd like to explore more deeply, let me know in the comments. This dialogue is how we grow together. Through these reflections, we will learn to better understand our feelings and needs and support one another on the journey. Let's keep speaking the language of archetypes to reflect, to connect, and to live more fully.